A different kind of apartment is coming together in our Colorado. I guess sort of think Legos here.
And some people say they're the future. Now, you can see this new type of community at 18th and Federal, so just across from Mile High Stadium. Denver 7's Lance Hernandez is live with the pros and the cons of this construction. Lance?
Well, we're talking about stackable modular units. Now, these 68 units that you see across the street were made out of state, shipped to Denver, and are being stacked one on top of the other. The cost about the same as if the complex was being framed on site, but it's being done in far less time.
It's about taking the plastic off, getting the straps on, bingo, it's up, and you're done in 20 minutes.
These modular units are going up fast.
We started this project last Monday, so we're 8 days in, and we're 3/4 of the way through.
Architect Matt Chiodini of Oz Architecture says the modular units are built in a factory in Boise, Idaho.
Quality control is the biggest reason for it.
They are shipped complete with windows, cabinets, and appliances, and wrapped in plastic.
So that the drywall and the insulation and those items don't get wet at any time.
A lot stronger than a typical building.
Lynn McConkey of Nashua Builders says this type of construction uses a little more lumber than building from scratch. But he says there's less waste. Chiodini says the extra studs add more stability, fire safety, and one other important thing, sound insulation.
This 2-inch airspace right here creates separation between not only box to box, unit to unit. We also have that same 1.5-inch airspace, 2-inch airspace on floor to floor.
They may be modular and Lego-like, but there is flexibility built in.
Lose the flex room, push the whole unit back, right? This door slides to here, and then you get a balcony.
Neighbors are experiencing less pain with this type of construction. The inconvenience, more short-term.
Like a couple yesterday was gone for 3 days. They came back and there's half a building sitting there. So the impact to them is minimal. Now, even the concrete work is prefabricated. All they have to do here on the scene is put everything together and then work on the exterior skin. That can be either basic or more upscale. This one's going to be fancy when it's done. Reporting live at 18th and Federal, Lance Hernandez, Denver 7.
Wow, that is fascinating. Thank you, Lance. 2 nonprofits have been chosen to redevelop an East Colfax property into affordable housing. This lot, located near Colfax and Verbena, once home to a strip club, will become 83 apartments, and the units will be income restricted. Neighbors Denver 7 spoke with previously are very excited to see this property redeveloped, hoping it sparks more investment in the community.
The street closures and high construction costs could derail Longmont from becoming a quiet zone. Some residents want trains to stop blaring their horns when they're passing through, but community members and some city council members don't want the streets closed to create these zones, which does include roadblocks on certain roads. They're also concerned about the price tag. It will cost more than $8 million to make the changes and update the 15 railroad crossings in town. So City Council will continue to take up the issue in the coming weeks.
And the Denver Broncos are still looking for a naming partner for Broncos Stadium. At a meeting today, the team says they still own the naming rights and are making quarterly payments to the stadium district. The stadium hasn't had a naming partner since Sports Authority went bankrupt, and since then, the stadium's been known to most of us as Broncos Stadium at Mile High.
Warmer weather has arrived. Our forecasted high today, nearly 90 degrees. I guess our first mini heat wave is here.
Hooray. And this is a live look at downtown Denver as we're tracking the temps. Man, we can't complain because we were just talking about snow last week, right? Meteorologist Stacey Donaldson's tracking even warmer temps for the rest of the week. She'll have your first alert forecast in just about 10 minutes. Now, the weather's great for summertime activities like fireworks shows, but there's one show that is needing some financial support. Lafayette is asking for donations to pay for their 4th of July celebration. The Chamber of Commerce needs $15,000 to pay for the festival, and this event is family friendly. It ends at dusk with a great fireworks, or starts at dusk, I should say, with a fireworks display. So to keep the tradition alive, residents can make a donation to the Lafayette Chamber of Commerce. President Trump is calling Special Counsel Robert Mueller's scheduled public testimony before Congress a disgrace. On July 17th, the House Judiciary Committee and House Intelligence Committee will question Mueller separately. Some Democrats believe Attorney General William Barr handled Mueller's report in a way that was favorable to President Trump. And Democrats continue to weigh whether to move forward with the impeachment proceedings against the president.
Thousands of migrant children are still being detained at the U.S.-Mexico border crossing. And Colorado Congresswoman Diana DeGette is pressing for answers about why they are living in filth. DeGette told the agencies in charge of caring for the kids that the kids are not being cared for and that the system is, quote, breaking down. And Congresswoman DeGette's comments come as the House passed a $4.5 billion humanitarian bill to help those children, other migrants seeking sanctuary.
Now, the Senate is not expected to pass the bill, and the White House says the president will veto the measure. The back and forth happening as a picture of a father and a little girl is released showing their last moments. They drowned in the Rio Grande. The president says he doesn't want a humanitarian bill. He wants immigration reform.
We cannot tolerate the endangerment, abuse, or smuggling of children. And the only way to really stop it is to change the law.
And the president has given Congress 2 weeks to get a bill passed, or he says immigration raids will happen across the country, including here in Denver. The crisis at the border will certainly be a topic at the first Democratic debate of the presidential campaign season. 10 Democrats will take the stage in Miami tonight, and ABC's Marcy Gonzalez sets the scene for us from Florida.
Final walkthroughs and preps underway as 10 Democratic candidates prepare to take this stage in Miami for the first of a two-night debate.
For a lesser-known candidate, you have to make some kind of mark in this debate.
The 2-hour-long face-off between presidential hopefuls will be broken into 5 segments, each candidate given a minute to answer questions and 30 seconds for follow-ups. A rapid-fire opportunity for many of these candidates to introduce themselves to voters.
My name ID is not what it is for some of the other candidates. I haven't served as vice president. I haven't run for president.
Immigration is expected to be a major focus, with many of the candidates now visiting or planning to visit a private for-profit South Florida detention facility where migrant children are being held.
We do not lock people up for political ends, which is what the President of the United States is doing here.
Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren has the highest poll numbers of this group.
He has a chance to dominate.
And will be in the center of this stage, along with former Texas Congressman Beto O'Rourke. Also hoping to stand out tonight in this crowded field, New Jersey Senator Cory Booker, former Housing and Urban Development Secretary Julian Castro, New York Mayor Bill de Blasio, former Maryland Congressman John Delaney, Hawaii Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard, Washington Governor Jay Inslee.
Listen, I'm happy to draw the contrast with all of the field.
Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar and Ohio Congressman Tim Ryan. And to keep the pace moving, there will be no opening statements, and each candidate will get just 45 seconds for closing statements. And then tomorrow, 10 more candidates, including Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders, will be on this stage for night 2 of the debate. Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, Miami.
Coming up, just how many Coloradans ditched their car keys for bike pedals for Bike to Work Day.
Plus, the future of this winter wonderland may be in jeopardy. What the Dillon ice castles have left behind that's concerning the community.
And hikers are hoping to have a popular trail open again when wildlife officers will decide if Chavez Trail can reopen.
And just 4 days ago, our temperatures were only in the 60s for afternoon highs. Now we're in the 80s and 90s, and it's about to get hotter. I'll let you know when the hottest part of the day will occur tomorrow. Coming up.
A substitute teacher's been fired after police say she was filming pornography in her classroom. The teacher, who worked for the El Campo School District near Houston, is accused of shooting the videos and then uploading them to websites. And the district has fired her. No charges have been filed because the district attorney can't find a law that she actually broke. And police haven't said how they figured out, though, the videos were filmed on school property.
You will want to avoid Chavez Trail in Genesee Park for your hike. It's still closed because of mountain lion activity. Just this week, 2 mountain lions were spotted fighting along that trail, and that fight left one dead and the other injured. Well, wildlife officials are concerned the injured mountain lion could attack a hiker, so that's why they closed the trail. And park officials will determine tonight if that route will reopen tomorrow.
So take a close look at what is about to be freed from the car on your screen. We put that banner down there. Yep. A bear!
Oh, hello.
The video comes to us from Telluride, where the sheriff's office says the vehicle's owner left the car unlocked, and that's how the bear got in. and the bear did a lot of damage inside that car. Well, the future of Dillon's ice castles could be in jeopardy. The city's Parks and Rec Committee is concerned with the damage the attraction does to Town Park. According to the committee, the grass isn't growing back and the ground's been damaged by it. The issue now goes to the town council, and they'll have to decide if they want to bring back the ice castles or find a new home this winter.
More affordable housing could be coming to Eagle and Pitkin counties as our Colorado grows. The Basalt Town Council has approved the first reading of a plan for Aspen Skiing Company to build a 46-unit community just off Highway 82. The Roaring Fork Valley is popular with tourists as well as families looking for a small-town lifestyle. Now, a second reading on this new housing plan goes before council in July.
More than 35,000 people all over our great state traded their vehicles for bicycles today.
That is because it is Bike to Work Day. For the 29th year, several organizations urged cycling over driving, and Denver 7's Eric Lufer joined in on the fun.
What a day to ride. 29 years Denver has taken part in Bike to Work Day, and already this morning we've seen tons of bikers. I'm in one of the protected bike lanes off of Bannock this morning. Dominic Lee in front with our second camera as we ride on this Bike to Work Day. 300 plus breakfast stations were here bright and early this morning. That happened till about 9 o'clock, but when you're coming home tonight, there will be water stations all over the place on your way home, and even bike parties for the late night riders who head home from work after dark. You can get a list of the locations at our website, thedenverchannel.com. We talked to some bikers this morning.
It means a lot. It means I get exercise because otherwise I won't make it to the gym. It's beautiful out. The paths are really great.
Definitely a Platte River, Cherry Creek Trail. Those trails are some of the best in my opinion.
Don't forget to head to our website, thedenverchannel.com, for a full list of Bike to Work Day locations, especially tonight for those water stations if you're heading back home. I'm Eric Lufer, Denver 7. Oh, let's watch it.
Oh boy, yeah, so Eric really didn't have the smoothest ride this morning, but don't worry, he's okay. Eric had some trouble stopping. Our photographer and camera, by the way, they were not scratched. The best thing about Eric, he got right back up, smiling and writing. Poor guy.
So
caught on camera.
Maybe a little, we took the training wheels off too soon for him. Man, that was great.
Keep
Hi,
practicing,
Stacy.
Eric.
Hi, and great weather for that this morning. Couldn't have been better to bike to work and biking home as well. It'll be nice and warm though, so by the time you get home, you'll want to cool off. Temperatures in the 80s and 90s right now, and we have 84 degrees, or we're expecting to have that by 7 o'clock tonight, 70 degrees by 9 o'clock, and 66 by 11 o'clock this evening. So some nice mild temperatures into the rest of tonight. We have partly to mostly cloudy skies out there here for the Front Range, and the heat is going to stick around. We've slowly but surely been getting warmer since this weekend. You remember we were talking snow this last weekend, and now we're going to be up in the 90s for the next few days. Storms will be showing up this weekend, and we do cool down next week. Not as dramatically as we did last week, but still highs will be in the 80s. But for right now, we have 93 in Commerce City, 88 in downtown Denver, and 87 in Parker. We have 70s and 80s off to the west up into the foothills, and some 80s up toward the Firestone area and up into Loveland. 86 degrees outside right now in Denver, 12% humidity, and our winds out of the northeast at 4 miles an hour. So it's been a warm day all across the state. 90s here for southern Colorado, 80s and 90s here for the Front Range and the Eastern Plains, and 92 for Grand Junction this afternoon. Fire weather warning, high fire danger here continuing in through tonight here for western Colorado and the southern part of the state. Severe thunderstorm watch was issued this afternoon for northeastern Colorado. We have one storm cell that's basically moving into that area just east of Keensburg. Otherwise, it's pretty quiet here around Denver. Just some cloud cover for us, but we've seen a little heavier rain here moving in the direction of Akron, and we could see a few pop-up thunderstorms here in the next few hours for eastern Colorado, but it'll remain partly cloudy here in Denver tonight. 58 degrees for our overnight low, and we are going to see temperatures dropping into the 60s. Once we hit midnight, we'll have 58 around 5 a.m. and then into the afternoon tomorrow between 1 and 3 o'clock in the afternoon is when the hottest temperatures will occur. Temperatures in the 60s for your drive in at 8 a.m. and then on the way home, 90s. It'll be sunny and warm. Highs in the 90s tomorrow afternoon. It'll be the hottest weather of the year.